Tech table. Tech table. Tech table.
Hello and welcome to the Tech Table, the Technical Staff and Theatre Workers podcast. It's the podcast in which I talk to people in the technical side of the industry about how they got in, their experiences and any advice they can give to anyone getting in. This is episode 5 of season 5, halfway through already. What a great season it's been. Thank you so much for the downloads. Thank you for the continued listens. It's been really, really great this season, and long may it continue. If you'd like to get in touch with us, it's Tech Table Pod on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, YouTube and Threads. So get in touch with us via the socials, or if you'd like to get in touch with us on the email, it's techtablepod@gmail.com. So, thank you very much for the continued downloads. As I said, thank you for all the comments. Keep them coming. Get in touch. Give us a like. Give us a 5-star review. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone you know who's interested in theatre and anyone who's not interested in theatre, because it might make them interested in theatre. So, without further ado, let's see who is at the tech table with me today. I'm here with my guest this time. If you'd like to introduce yourself and tell me what your current job title is.
Hello, my name is Devonne Sheppard and my current job is puppet technician on Warhorse.
Excellent. And how did you get into theatre?
I definitely got into theatre thanks to my family. It kind of runs in the family. My granddad worked in theatre, my mum works in theatre, and so does my sister. So I grew up around it all the time. I would visit backstage all the time, and just loved it.
Excellent. Did you do any training anywhere, or?
Not specific to theatre, no, but I did train at the University of Hertfordshire, and I studied model design and special effects.
Excellent, which is obviously what led you into doing
the technician-y side of puppets. Yes.
The puppetry, which is quite an interesting way in. So, have you worked in theatre other than doing the puppetry, or is this kind of the first thing that you've done?
No, I have. Yes, I've kind of bounced around different departments quite a lot. So I straight out of uni had a job in a workshop, but I also CASI'd, so I did a lot of stage crew jobs. And at the theatre I was working at the time, I also became deputy, so I would be backstage and I would run backstage for certain shows as well. I've worked front of house as an assistant box office manager, so kind of done that side of things as well. And just generally I've also been hired by certain theatres to build props or like help with like some set designs and stuff for shows that they're producing, and puppetry technician as well.
Excellent. Remind me again, what was your title of your course at college, at uni?
Model design and special effects.
Model design and special effects. So what then leads you into doing like stage management and technical stuff in theatre? Was it just because you were casual working?
Yes, I kind of fell into it as well. So when I initially wanted to do model design and special effects, I was very much aiming for film and TV, which I also have done as well. And like that was the big industry that I was like, I'm aiming for this and that's where I want to go. However, just because of where I came from, my family and my roots, theatre definitely was a calling that I couldn't get away from. And I was working for a company at the time building quite large illusions and puppetry stuff. I was working for magicians as well. And it was Crossroads Pantomime, which was Kudos at the time, came and said that they were looking for a technical ASM because they had someone drop out of a show and they needed someone to cover quite quickly. And that was it. I kind of got into that. I learned stage management, specific side of things on the job because I've done that as well. And then I did 8 years worth of pantos with them. So they didn't let me go.
8 years. I did a lot of panto. I love panto. I
do love panto. It holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
but you can't get the glitter.
No,
it's everywhere.
You really can't. It's still there forever. No. What was your first paid job in theatre then? What was the first show that you got paid to work on? Could be any show, obviously, even if it's just as casual work.
Trying to remember if it was me as a Cassie or if it was... Does promotional work count for when I was like 14, 15?
Oh, wow, yeah, I guess so, yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be way, way back, which would have been at the Mayflower. They had a CBeebies show coming in, and me and my sister got hired to be the costume characters to help with the promotional side of things. So we were Jake and Fizz from the Tweenies, if we want to go all the way back there.
Wow. Okay.
Or
what about backstage wise?
backstage, yes, that's always an interesting one. I think it would have been the Crossroads Panto, because everything else up till then was building stuff and making things. So it would have been, my first Panto was Peter Pan in 2016.
Wow.
And that was my first kind of official backstage technical stage management job.
I love that you call it the Crossroads Panto. Crossroads obviously being the production company, I assume.
Yes, yes, it is.
Because to me, people of my age will remember Crossroads, the really tacky television program. So it's the Crossroads. Yes. The Crossroads Panto just sounds quite fun to me. Quite
funny. I have to specify, because when I joined the company, it was Kudos.
Yeah.
And then they went through a brief change, and now it's fully Crossroads Pantomimes, and it's specifically Crossroads Pantomimes because they do productions as well. And if I don't specify, people get really confused. So I think it's just ingrained in my brain to say it's Crossroads.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. Give us a list of some other jobs that you've done, shows that you've worked on, leading up to Warhorse.
Leading up to Warhorse. So I did lots of pantomimes, as I've said. I've done a range of pantomimes, all of those. When I was working as casual stage crew, I got to duty for Joseph and Sitka Dreamcoat. Women in Black was a favourite of mine. I did enjoy Women in Black. I got to LX op for that one, so I got to see a lot of audience reactions.
Excellent.
It's very good fun. As most people with up and coming, you kind of do a lot of dance shows, a lot of scores productions that come in and need help setting up. So I've done quite a few of those. But yeah, the biggest side of things would definitely be the pantomimes with all the larger technical effects. I then had a bit of a breakout with film and TV stuff as well. And then I came back and I was on Les Mis in the West End for a little bit, and I was stepping for them. Snap. Yep. And then it's a good fun one. I did enjoy it. It was like being able to learn all the stage crew. Like I think I learned 3 or 4 of the stage crew tracks, and it was just so much fun being able to jump them around. Tight space, hard to manage, but so much fun.
Yeah.
And then, whilst I was working on that, I interviewed for this, and I've been here now for just coming up a year. Yeah.
Excellent. So, being a woman in the industry, have you ever come across any issues, anybody potentially holding you back? Obviously, not naming names, but anyone holding you back, anybody treating you differently because of your gender?
Oddly enough, less so in theatre, more so in film and TV.
Ah, interesting.
Theatre, yes, I've come across some people that maybe wouldn't like respond well, or they didn't listen very well. Like they would kind of ignore what I'd say, and not like if I asked for help, or if I was managing as well, if I asked for specific things, they may have ignored me.
Yeah.
But only tended to be the older generation. I don't want to pigeonhole people because not all of them have been like that. It's only been a select few where I've had issues like that. But in general terms, it's actually been okay. I've had more of the side of like comments and stuff like that of like, oh, you can't lift things like that and you can't do this. And I'm quite brash and will ask why.
Yeah.
And they then get very sheepish and go quite quiet. But other than that, I've never been kind of held back for it, I would say, but I am quite a bold person when it comes to things, so I don't think I would have ever let it.
Excellent. Good. Lovely. What would you say are the pros and cons of working in theatre, especially being on tour? Because tour is different to the West End, obviously.
Yes, tour is quite intense. You can get, like, a con would be you can get kind of stuck in a bubble and your life and everything becomes the tour, but as long as you've kind of got little things like connections to home, friends you can speak to, being able to step away and kind of separate from the job a little bit makes it very much more enjoyable, I'd say.
Yeah.
But the connections you make within that bubble, you make some amazing close friends. You get to tour and see places and see the country, and get to explore and do different things. I would definitely say a big pro with working with theatre is, for me, because my comparison with film and TV is quality of life as well. Yeah. So within theatre, you get the camaraderie. You feel like you're needed and wanted within your roles. Like everyone plays a big part of a machine, and if anyone goes down, it can all kind of crumble and fall apart a bit. So everyone is integral to what they're doing. And it's nice. Everyone wants to feel wanted and needed in that way. So I quite enjoy that within the side of things. And also with theatre, the ability to be able to learn from each department.
Right. Okay,
and everyone can be so close, and you can cross over. So puppet technician is quite a rare role.
Yes.
And there's not many shows that do it. There's more becoming out now, so like lots of stuff is starting to be produced, which is amazing, and I love it. But before then, like there maybe were 1 or 2 shows that had it, and it was such a hard thing to ever get into, and it was just the case of someone taking a chance on you and being able to do it. But the crossovers of like you can do stage management and ASM and be quite prop heavy, and that leads into it, or you could be a set designer or painter, and that can lead into certain things. Like lots of crossovers, like certain puppets will have mechanical side of things, like actual electrics and lights and stuff in. So you have to work with electrics departments.
And I suppose that's also quite novel for other departments to work with you puppet wise, because like you say, it is an unusual thing. So that's quite fun to get involved in that as well.
Absolutely. And one thing that I do enjoy personally with myself and Dan, who's my HOD on the job here, we are very active. If people want to learn or come talk to us, we are very open and very welcoming to the fact, like, yes, it's unusual and what we do is unusual. So we will spend time, if we have it, obviously. It's always tricky. To actually talk to people and like teach and like let people see what we do, because it's such a niche and it is a curiosity everyone has. And the puppets, like obviously, no matter what show you work on, I find puppets absolutely amazing and beautiful. So hence.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What would you say is a common misconception to anybody who's trying to get in the industry? So if you get somebody new coming into the industry, what do they generally think that the industry is that it's not?
Ooh.
It's a tricky one.
That is a tricky one. I definitely say it's tricky for me as well, because I grew up in such a theatrical family.
Yes.
So for me, it was just second nature, and it was like I knew quite a lot. I guess it can be like, I guess the prejudice is from a woman's perspective, it's very male orientated.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say that it isn't so much anymore. And there are opportunities for anyone of every ability to do things, because it probably has that prejudice of like you have to be very able in every way to do things, which isn't the case. There are things in place, and I've worked with many different departments that will help and actually make adjustments to let anybody of any ability be able to do the job. It's just like you just need to have the passion and the want to do it.
I suppose, as long as you're willing to learn, that's the thing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I guess, like, yes, we are all kind of night owls.
Yes,
hours can be long and like can be tough, especially when you've got like, especially for us on tour when we do a get out and then we're moving to the next place and the get in. That is quite intense and can be quite tough, especially if you're overtired or you're stressed, and there's the difficulties of each venue. But again, like I don't feel that that's a bad thing, because I've had jobs that are a lot worse and that aren't theatre in that way. So
excellent.
That's a good one.
That's lovely. Lovely. Finally, what advice would you give to anybody who's trying to get into the industry?
Someone asked me this the other day, so I've thought about this quite a lot.
Excellent.
Don't be afraid to reach out and ask the questions, or if you go see a show and you see like a creative or a department of someone on that list that you enjoyed the show and you loved it, don't be afraid to try and kind of look them up and reach out and ask a question, or ask for opportunities of work experience, or ask for a coffee and a catch up, because that's how you can network and connections are made. It is intimidating and scary. I was rubbish at it. I was always terrified to reach out and try and make connections and meet people, but it is an industry of who you know. unfortunately, I guess, but also fortunately. So once you've got in there and you've worked with people that you've worked well with, they will always recommend and pass on or take you with them to next jobs. So it's just having that little bit of bravery to reach out and go, can I talk to you? Can I pick your brain? Because I find a lot of people within this industry do want to share knowledge and want to bring new people in, because we want it to thrive. We don't want it to die out and stop. So
that's exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask the questions and make contact with people, because yes, you might not get an answer all the time, but the majority of the time people want to pass on information. And if we can, we will. We'll make contact and teach people as we can. Brilliant.
And that's everything I've got for you. So thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you. A big thank you to Devon. It was really nice talking to Devon there. Puppet technician is not a job that I would have thought about, but it just shows that there are so many jobs out there and so many different sections to the industry that are really interesting. So a big thank you to Devon there. Thank you for the continued downloads. If you want to get in touch with us, it's Tech Table Pod on all the socials: Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, YouTube and Threads. If you want to get in touch with us via the email, it's techtablepod@gmail.com. A big thank you to my executive producers, Meg and G from the GSA, and of course a big thank you to Stage Electrics for this wonderful microphone, which makes me sound awesome. I've had a great last couple of days at the ABTT Theatre Show. Got plenty of content, saw loads of people, loads of great things happening there. So it was a really fun 2 days. So if you're interested in theatre or in anything backstage or anything in the industry, I would advise going to the ABTT Theatre Show next year. I'm sure I'll be there, and so will so many other people. So that's the end of episode 5 of season 5, halfway through, and I've really enjoyed it. So I hope you've enjoyed it too, and until episode 6, I shall see you next week.